Hello, and welcome to my first ever New Year's review. In this video, I'm going to review the year 2024, share some miscellaneous projects that I've completed in 2024, and discuss my plans for 2025. To start off, I'd like to just mention how wonderful 2024 has been. It's undoubtedly been my best year to date, and a big part of that was meeting a partner that I can be with for the rest of my life. Not only are they extremely loving and supportive of everything I do, it feels like there's been a huge weight taken off my shoulders, which is the burden of finding a suitable life partner. Now that this part of my life is in balance, I've been able to focus on living this year. This year, I've definitely set personal records with the amount of thought and writing that I've produced. And most importantly, I've been having fun and have felt extremely fulfilled while doing this. Throughout my thinking and writing, I've also learned a tremendous amount this year. Some of this learning has been forced on me by situations in my personal and work life, but these challenges have forced me to think in a very fundamental way about how I work and communicate. If there's one tangible difference between the start of this year and the end of this year, it is belief. And that is belief that I can do anything that I set my mind to. This might sound simple, but its importance can't be understated because self-belief unlocks the last step, which is execution, giving myself permission and following through and becoming the person that can accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. Both of these things I'm actively working on in 2025. All right, let's get into the weeds of the review. First, starting with a broad overview of how I did in my three life categories: health, wealth, and relationships. So starting with health, I didn't have a crazy year health-wise, but I certainly was able to build on the bedrock that was 2023's intense focus in this area. I did, however, add the habit of walking. This was one of my goals from the beginning of the year. And through this habit, I think I've actually produced a lot of my best thought. Again, in 2025, I think the goal is mostly to maintain, but I'm hoping to go about it in a systematic way that still helps me achieve some goals along the way that I've set out for myself, such as completing a bodyweight MRF and working on my snatch. Another thing to mention is that I started bouldering in 2024, and this has been a fantastic way to exercise socially. Now moving on to the wealth category. This has been my best year for personal growth. I've really learned how to work with people, and I've done really well in my 9-to-5 job and feel like I'm being recognized accordingly. Additionally, I have a new official job, although it's the same function that I was doing for most of my time at this company. But this job officially allows me to write code every day, which is one of the things that I've wanted to be able to do. Another thing that I'm really proud of in 2024 is the rate at which I'm producing thoughts and the rate that I'm able to share these thoughts with the world. This rate has increased dramatically this year. I've found the voice that I did not have at the beginning of the year. But most importantly, I've found myself sticking to one of my North Stars this year, and that is the modern strenuous life. And the goal of the modern strenuous life is not to pursue a life of leisure and comfort, but one that serves humanity. Of course, I'm talking about learning the skills to contribute to the climate, machine learning, and data science space this year. Finally, in this category, I should note that a lot of the things that I'm working on, I find so fulfilling and so engaging that I believe I've found things that I'm interested in that I can create a life from which I don't need to retire. With the exception of the burnout that I faced in the fall, I truly feel that I can sustain the current trajectory for a very long time. Lastly, I'm going to move into the relationships category. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this year can basically be summed up as the year that I met my life partner. It truly feels that I've found some type of lucky shortcut that I don't feel I've deserved to find. But I've truly been dealt a pair of aces, and I plan on going all in accordingly. Less importantly, I've found a community this year and have hit one of my goals of making 100 friends on X. And while I'm doing it for me, I've started this YouTube channel to document my life's journey and share the lessons learned with others. I have struggled with sharing who I really am, the things that I enjoy working on, what I'm actually working on, and the things I'm interested in with the people who know me in the real world. So if you're one of these people, I hope that you understand where I'm coming from and how it might be difficult to share who I really am, even though it's different. I am beginning to feel confident that I can follow through and merge these two worlds this year as I feel more and more satisfied with the quality of work that I'm putting out. Lastly, I'd like to go over the regrets for this year. And fortunately, there weren't any memorable regrets that I could note down. And I absolutely love this feeling because one of the things that I try to optimize for every year is minimizing the amount of regret that I'm going to carry forward with me in life. So to wrap up the 2024 review, I'd like to go over the final thoughts and ratings for each of these three categories. Each of these categories are rated 1 to 3. I gave health a 2. I feel a little bit less strong, but feel that my endurance has improved. I'm still having so much fun working out, especially now that I've added climbing and walking to my routines, working out socially and thinking while working out. Well, I gave this a 2 out of 3 as well. I still feel that I'm doing the right things every day, although I don't have a whole lot to show for it. I've had a very good year at work, which has been fulfilling. And now I believe that I just need to focus on exploiting the knowledge that I already have. And lastly, relationships, which are obviously a 3, because I found my person, but I found myself struggling to maintain relationships outside my closest circle. Before moving to 2025, I'm going to briefly show some of the things that I was working on online this year. Starting with my personal website, I gave this a facelift this year, and this is the homepage. And one of the things that I worked on is a Premier League prediction model to replace 538's Premier League prediction, which is now defunct. This model shows the probabilities each team will win the league, finish top 4, finish bottom 3, in addition to all the places that they will finish over the 10,000 simulations. You'll notice that this simulation runs every match week for every season. And if you're lucky, you'll be able to find an Easter egg. Also in here, I publish match predictions every week, and this shows the probability of a win, loss, or draw for all of the upcoming matches. There's also an option to sort by best matches, which has been a useful tool for me to see the closest matches that are coming up in the week to choose what to watch. At the end of 2024, this is what my X profile looks like. And this is what my blog looks like. This year, I've published 9 blog posts. One of my favorite posts is the post about the modern dumb phone that I've created for myself, which I'll share in a second. And this is what my YouTube channel looks like. And here's my modern dumb phone. This is what my home screen looks like. It's very minimal and there aren't very many distractions. I have a second page which has Safari, and I'm going to show you how I've modified YouTube to have no home screen and blocked all shorts. This has made the experience of using my phone so much more enjoyable. Now moving on to my 2025 preview. The theme for this year, as I alluded to previously, is exploitation, digging deep into the knowledge I already have. To start my preview, I'd first like to go through my values and vision to share where my goals are coming from. My top 5 motivations are 1. Living in service to humanity. 2. Providing my family the life they deserve and desire. 3. Minimizing regret. 4. Maintaining the curiosity of my 20-year-old self. And 5. Enabling others to do the same. Everything I just mentioned. And one of the things that I wish I had more time to do in the upcoming year is spend more time working on the things that I do outside of my 9-to-5 job. However, this is sort of a paradox because a lot of the things that I do day to day in my 9-to-5 job drive the things that I'm learning about outside of it. So I need to find some way to maintain both of these. In 2025, I want to continue being present and continue aiming to live in service to the world. In 2025, I also want to see and treat people for who they are, not trying to guess what they think about me, how they perceive me, how they might feel, throwing all of that out the window and just seeing people for who they are, not trying to change them. Now moving on to my goals and starting with the actions, what I actually want to achieve. The only thing that I really want to achieve in 2025 is completing my machine learning master's course that I've been building on GitHub. After that, I don't really care what I actually achieve, so long as I produce high expected value work as much as possible. So for this category, I'll also break it down into health, wealth, and relationships. So for health, this year, I'd like to maintain what I currently have, continue my habit of walking, and try to increase the time spent working out with others. Like I mentioned, the later part of this year, I've really enjoyed working out socially, and I hope to do the same throughout most of 2025. For wealth, I'd like to exploit the knowledge that I've already attained. I currently don't have a lack of knowledge problem. I just need experience executing and can go again learning from that. I also want to get into a deep work habit. Even just 1 hour of deep work most weekdays will change my life. For relationships, again, this one is mostly about maintenance. I want to maintain what I currently have and hope to establish some type of monthly or quarterly communication cadence. That way, there is a structured time to specifically check in on all my relationships, and I can't just brush them to the side. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great New Year's. Bye-bye.